Okay, what'd you say? About your Aunt Bertie?
She was married to Allie Fairchild. As far as you got Alfred Fairchild there because we call him Allie. That's what I knew when I was coming up.
Okay.
But there's one or two other things in here that I didn't know about.
Okay. All right. These are just some. They're not embarrassing. There's nothing scandalous. It's nothing like that. It's just kind of questions that help me understand more about the family. And what I like to do is just tell me your name, and we'll start out your name and where you were born and your birthday.
That's all you want to know?
Well, just to start out with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What am I supposed to give you? My name, Christine Chapman? Is that?
Yeah.
Christine Chapman, that's right.
I mean, you were born, though. What were you born? You were born Christine.
That's all I had was Christine Chapman.
Oh, you weren't.
I added the Elizabeth in there.
No. I mean, weren't you born white? You were born a white, right? I mean, I'm sorry, Garnett.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So.
Yes. Christine Garnett. That's what I said.
Okay, all right. Christine Garnett. And where were you born?
Spotsylvania, Virginia.
Spotsylvania, okay. All right. Do you know, were you born in at home or in a hospital?
At home.
At home?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So do you remember the midwife that delivered you?
I don't know anything about the midwife. They didn't tell me that. But all of us, as far as I know, were born at home.
Okay, right at, you remember the address or where the home was?
Spotsylvania, Virginia, that's all I know. It was on Route, I think at that time, I think it was 208.
Route 208? Okay.
As far as I know.
Okay.
You can check it out, but it was 208. I guess some of them still call it 208, but now it's called Courthouse Road.
Uh-huh. Who, were you named after somebody? It just...
No.
Okay. Do you ever have a nickname?
No.
No nicknames? There are there any stories about you as a baby? Any baby stories did you do anything special or?
The only thing that they used to talk about when I was very, very small, I got two brothers younger than I was. And they told me that my father worked at a sawmill and he got, what did he have? The flu, caught the flu, and he was sick. And then my mother caught the flu, and my sister and two brothers caught the flu. And I was just toddling around, baby. And they said I didn't even catch a cold.
Wow.
They used to tell me that.
Okay.
And I never had the flu, and that's why today I don't take a flu shot.
Well, good for you.
I have never taken a flu shot because they told me that I was in the house with every one of them, and my mother was in bed worrying because there was nobody to take care of me. And I didn't know anything about, just walking around. And that's why today I won't let no doctor give me a flu shot.
Good for you. Okay, when you were a young lady, what did you want to do when you grew up? What did you want to be, or what did you want to do with your life?
Well, I had nothing planned. I mean, we came up very, very poor, as we all did. So I had nothing to, something to look forward to, just do the best I can, help. I had a sister that was Hazel. She was 9 years older than me. And naturally, she was in high school when I was kind of young. So she used to tell me, she used to have to help my mother to do the work around the house. And she comes home from school with her assignments. She sent me down to the table to do them for me, and I just could write.
Okay. Excuse me. So you used to do her homework for her?
I used to do it, but best I could, She'd teach me, Christine, you do this, you copy this, and try to read this and do that. And I liked it.
Good.
I liked it because I had nothing to play with, Oh, I was very, very young. And I helped her get her homework best I could, so she'd have something to go to, for the next day when she go to school.
Mm-hmm.
So one time, my mother, we had a cousin that she was very, very fond of.
Mm-hmm.
And she happened to be my 4th grade teacher, my mother's cousin.
What was her name?
Her name was Rose Dyson.
Okay.
Rose Dyson.
Mm-hmm.
She married a Dyson. She was white. Her father and mother were white.
Rose White.
Yeah, Nancy White. And
Was she related to my grandmother's family?
I don't think that. I think it's a different
It's
white.
a different whites?
I think
Okay.
that's different.
Okay.
I think they are. You don't know, but I think. But anyway, my mother she was my 4th grade teacher, as I said.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, my mother thought of a lot of her. So she used to come to our house. We didn't live too far apart.
Mm-hmm.
She used to come to our house to visit my mother.
Mm-hmm.
My mother would fix dinner for them, sit down and talk,
Mm-hmm.
And she saw what I was doing for my sister,
Mm-hmm.
And she told my mother, Cousin Winnie, my mother's name was Winnie, by all means send her to college. And here I was in 4th grade.
Mm-hmm.
My mother didn't have money to send me anywhere,
Yeah, money was tight then.
Yeah, oh my goodness, yes. My mother working, hard, cooking dinners for people,
Mm-hmm.
Cousin Winnie, I remember hearing her say, by all means, send her to college. So my mother kept that in her mind.
Mm-hmm.
Rosa told me to send you to college.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When I got in high school, about the 9th grade, my father got sick.
Mm-hmm.
Hazel got married, because after me, my 2 younger brothers, left at home. When the time for school to open, my 2 brothers would get on the bus and go to school. I couldn't go because the doctor told my mother not to leave my father alone because he had some kind of ailment that he just might drop at any time. So she had nobody to stay home with him. She was working, in fact, she was working in this neighborhood. She worked this way. So she didn't even want to ask me to stay with my father because she knew how much I liked schoolwork.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't want to ask me to stay home.
Mm-hmm.
So she had my sister to come down, my oldest sister, Ella, to come down and ask me if I could stay with my father until after Christmas. The school starts in September, I think it was September, August or September. She came down and said, Christine, Mama said, could you stay home until January after Christmas so she could work until Christmas because my father couldn't stay by himself.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor didn't want him to stay by himself. And I thought about it, and I said, oh gosh, But I did.
Mm-hmm.
I said, yeah, I'll do that because I can make it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I told her then. I said, I can make it up. So I sit on the bus and watch Herman and Lloyd get on the bus and go to school. All my cousins get on the bus and go to school, and I'm sitting all day. Mm-hmm. But I had to keep my eye on my father, see, in case something happened to him. So, okay. And December came, time for Christmas. I asked one of my neighbors, a couple of doors from us, to get me the name of the books. At that time, they were changing books on us. My father had to get in the buggy, go all the way to Fredericksburg to buy these books for me.
You mean a horse and buggy?
Horse and buggy. He never drove a car. He didn't have, all he had was a wagon, horse, buggy,
Mm-hmm.
and his other animals,
What year was this?
Oh gosh, I gotta go. Oh my gosh, wait a minute. I have to look up some stuff. He died in 30. I forget. I got all those records down.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to get those for you because I can't get the exact dates.
Okay.
But I got the list of books that we had,
Mm-hmm.
that my class was having. Gave them to my father. He gets in the buggy and goes to Fredericksburg, taking all day to go, and got these books. Well, I studied them the best I could.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, I went on, this was something like ninth grade, I think it was. So anyway, I went on through school, went to high school. When time for me to graduate, the principal at that time we had all this new stuff. His name was Mr. Duncan. He would, you know how I'm talking about, write the theory or whatever on the board, tell you to copy it. You pay attention to this, he would say, because you're going to see this again. Then we copied it all down. You're going to see it again. Because I like to study, I go home and study the stuff that I had to copy down. Just because I just like doing things like that. So when time come to graduate, see, this was a training school. It wasn't a high school at that time. Spotsylvania Training School. Several men came one day, and we all sitting around the tables and things studying. And the principal and these men were standing over looking. I didn't know they were talking about me. They didn't want me to graduate.
Why not?
I missed 4 months of the ninth grade. I had no grades. I was at school. I was taking care of my father.
Okay.
But at that time, I didn't know what they were talking about. So after these people left, Mr. Duncan explained to me what was happening. He said, they don't want you to graduate. But he said, I talked to them because of my grades, I had to graduate. Okay. Well, it's all right with me, you know. I had no grades. I can show you the report card right now. So, that being young, you know, I didn't pay too much attention to that. He said I could graduate, so that's what happened. So, it passed. And when time for the graduation, I was the valedictorian of my class.
Good for you.
The salutatorium was a friend of mine. She called me this morning from Philadelphia. Her name was Myrtle Pryor. She was the salutatorium, so we have stuck together ever since.
Oh, that's nice.
We've stuck together ever since.
That's nice.
So, because of my grades, Mr. Duncan saw that I graduated with the class. So I did pretty good. Now, this 4th grade teacher that I told you about, when I graduated, because she told the cousin when they sent her to college, my mother was taking in washing, drawing water out the well, and washing people's clothes, trying to send me to Virginia State. Okay, I went to Virginia State. She couldn't carry me down there. One of the neighbors rode down. I had no, you know, we didn't have any transportation. So, okay, I went to Virginia State. I got a picture of it right now.
Do you really?
Yeah, I got a picture of the campus.
Excuse me. Wow.
And couldn't go but that 1 year. She couldn't send me. We wasn't getting that kind of money, you know.
What was your mother's name?
Winnie Garnett.
What was her?
They call her Winifred, you know.
Winifred?
Winifred. In some places you might see Winifred, but you know how they nickname people.
And what was her mother's name?
Dolly Lawson.
And what was her father's name?
Wait a minute. I have all that record. You know what? I wish I had gotten that stuff out. You talking about my mother's father? Well, she, Dolly.
The Stannard, wasn't it?
She was a Stannard.
Yeah.
But see, when Stannard died, she married Uncle Elmo's father. She got to be a Lawson.
Oh.
You don't have that, do you?
No, I don't think so, but now I have it. Do you know when she was born? You know her birthday?
Who's my mother's?
Your mother, yeah.
I don't think I
I
have.
may have it in there. I think I do.
I don't have that. I got a lot of stuff, but I don't have that.
What's the most vivid image do you have of your mother? What do you remember about her the most?
She was very, very concerned about everybody. You know, she did what she could for it. She just worked all the time. My father, being ill, he was kind of complaining a lot. He did the farm work. He had pigs and raised garden, and he loved raising garden. And he loved around the house, do things around the house. He had all his fruit trees, apple trees, pear trees. Didn't have any pear trees. Grapevine, peaches, peach.
Hello. Hey, Uncle Sandy, how you doing?
How are you?
All right.
Good to see you.
All right, I'm interviewing your wife. We've been talking. And
Good.
I'm sorry, I didn't
That's all right. That's on my way. That's on my way.
Okay.
So he was asking about my father, saying that.
Uh-huh. And that's the most okay, who was the disciplinarian? When the kids messed up, who's the one that said, all right?
Both of them.
Both of them did?
Yeah, both of them. I just had a way of, because I was between 4 brothers. I had two just older than me. They stuck together. Those 2 stuck together, played together and everything. 2 younger than me, so that left me by myself. See, I didn't have anybody to play with. So anyway, I would go around to the garden and all, and I'd climb trees and I'd do all that stuff in the apple tree. And one thing that stuck with me, just as this has happened yesterday. I climbed that apple tree, a big apple tree. There was only 1 or 2 apples left. I was going up there and get it. And my father came from the barn with a bucket in his hand, going to the house, and he stopped and just stood there and looked at me. And I looked there and kept on with what I was doing. He said, I'll be glad when the last apple's gone. I'll never forget that. And I realized then that I was wearing him. I didn't let him see me climb a tree again.
He was scared you were going to fall out the tree.
Yeah, he's afraid I was going to fall, see. And when I found out that that was wearing him, I said, well, I'll never let him see me go up another tree. I went up there when he left, get an apple or whatever. But those kind of little things, just kind of stick with me. And I can now forget some things what happened yesterday, see. But those things stick with you. Well,
what was my grandfather? What was Harvey like as a kid?
Very religious.
Was he really?
Very religious. I would be sitting around listening to him talk to my mother.
Even when he was a child, he was like that?
Well, I don't know, because see, I'm
Oh, you were younger.
so much younger than he was.
Right, yeah.
Growing up, I didn't know. Oh, he was grown when I know. And when he married your mother, I remember your grandmother. My grandmother.
Yeah, Maxine, yeah.
I remember when they got married. She was always a fat lady. And I remember but before that, I didn't know what he was like growing up.
Okay. Do you know anything about him? Anything because I don't know him at all.
Oh,
I only seen him once. I can only remember ever seeing him once.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I have no memories of him at all.
Okay. Well, he was very religious, I can tell you that. He used to preach to my mother almost every Sunday.
Preach to your mother?
Yeah, basically my mother be in the kitchen cooking and doing for, everything she got to do. And he reading the Bible and telling her this and telling her that. And you're not supposed to do this on Sunday and that on Sunday. And if the ox and the mire then my mother get after him about something, he said, if the ox and the mire, get him out. Is that in the Bible? I guess it was.
The ox is in the what?
Yeah, ox and the mire, get him out. That's in the Bible. Because I remember hearing him tell her that. She would, getting after him about something. The ox and the mire, that means that some things you can do on Sunday. I guess that's what he meant. But that's all I can remember about him.
Okay. Do you remember hearing any stories about your great-grandparents on either side or any of them being slaves or anything like that?
Oh, my grandmother was a slave.
Which?
My mother's mother was a slave.
What was her name?
What did I say, Sandy?
Your mother's
Dolly.
Dolly.
She was a Dolly Stannard.
Dolly Stannard was a slave.
Yes, she was a slave, but she didn't talk much.
Why did
she was over on the Lawson side, because Aunt Cora, my mother's sister, was the youngest, and she stayed over there with her. She would come over and very quiet, wore a big white bonnet, that's all I remember, white bonnet. And she'll come over there and sit down and make rolls, helping my mother out to take care of her family. But she didn't do a lot of talking. If she talked, so we couldn't understand what they were saying, you know. But I do remember her doing that. And then she'd help my mother, and she goes on back over to the other side.
Did she, do you ever hear any stories about what happened to her during slavery?
I didn't hear any of that.
Or any of our relatives? Any slave stories at all?
No, I sure didn't. You know, they had a way, they didn't talk too much around small children. At that time, they'd tell you go on out and play.
Yeah, they do. They would do that.
You know, they don't let, like these kids do now, sitting to hear all this mess on television and all that kind of stuff. We didn't hear that kind of stuff.
I know. What kind of house did you live in when you were growing up as a kid?
Okay, it was a frame house. 4-room house. Large living room on one side and bedroom. Use it for a bedroom. 2 bedrooms upstairs. Then later on, sometime in life, before I was born, they add 2 more rooms on the back, kitchen and dining room. Now that's what was there when I came along. So we told that it got in bad shape, very bad shape. So we took it down. We had it torn down.
So when you guys ate, did you eat in the kitchen or did you eat in the dining room?
When I could remember, they'd sit in that was after they put these 2 rooms on the back now. All of us sitting in the dining room and eat around the table, you know. And my mother and my sister would be in the kitchen cooking and making these biscuits and things. My brothers teasing each other to see which one could eat the most. All that. I remember all that stuff.
How was the home heated in the winter?
Wood stove.
A wood stove?
Right.
And who was in charge of getting the wood?
My father and brothers.
The brothers did that? Okay, did you guys have a fireplace?
Oh, no.
No fireplace?
No. Every house every room had a stove. Yeah, every room had a stove.
Did you have electricity when you
No, oil lamps.
Oil lamps? When did electricity come? Do you remember when it came?
We never did get any down there. We never get any electricity in that house.
So you used candles or kerosene?
Right. Most of the time, kerosene, that's all I knew about.
Did the house have a basement?
No.
No basement? The food, how did you store the food?
Canned everything. Dried beans, out of the garden. And I was just telling somebody the other night that my brothers and my father would dig a big space out in the field, one of the gardens, put leaves in there in the fall, and stuff they want to keep, like potatoes and things, couldn't keep up with. They put them in a kiln, call it a kiln. And during the winter, you go and dig in the kiln and get these things out. They won't be frozen, see? Oh. But under the stairway, there was a closet, and that's where all the canned fruit went, canned everything, vegetables, fruits.
How did the family get water?
At a well.
You just went to the well?
Go to the well and pull it up.
Pull it up. So was it, all right. So when it was time for a bath and things like that, you had to go to the well to get the water?
Oh, yes. With a big tub, to wash clothes, same thing, right? We got to draw it out, bring it in the house, heat it on the stove.
Excuse me.
And then kick it back outside. In the good weather, you take it outside, inside in the wintertime. And wash on a board. Okay.
So what were you responsible for as a child in the house? What did you have to do?
Well, I tell you, as I said, my sister got married and left, so I mean, when she was there, she did everything. She got married and left, then I had to do it because my father used to cook for himself.
He would cook for y'all, huh?
Well, he didn't cook, not really. He didn't cook for us. He cooked for himself because, see, he worked at a sawmill. I mean, he couldn't do heavy work, so he was a cook at a sawmill. And That picture you got of him is taken with his sawmill people, you know, the people he worked with.
Oh, that picture? Oh, really?
The picture that you got,
Oh, I never saw the original picture. That one?
that's it. That's such a...
Do you have the original one?
Yeah, well, no, no. I tell you what, my niece in Philadelphia didn't give it back. My sister Pearl had it, the original, but we got copies of it.
Uh-huh.
We got copies of it, but I never could get that original back.
Okay. So who did the cleaning and the ironing?
Well, I did the best I could.
You did?
You know, when after my sister left, I did the best I could.
Did you buy or make your own clothes?
No, I wished I could have learned to sew better. My mother used to sew,
Uh-huh.
but I never made anything much.
Mm-hmm. How did you guys get mail? Did you get a lot of mail?
Postman didn't have much. The postman would come, drive by and put it in the mailbox. And of course, we were about a half a block off the road.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you go down and get the mail at the box. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so since you guys didn't have electricity, how did you spend the evenings? What did you do in the evening?
Just entertain each other, that's all.
With talking?
Sit around, talk, play. The field right out from the church right now in Spotsylvania, Savannah Church, we, the Fairchild children, or we get out there and play ball. You know that, you know, that's, and amuse ourselves. That's all we could do.
Huh. Did your mother ever work outside of the house, outside of the home?
Yeah,
ever
she
have a
cooked
job?
out. Yeah, right.
And she was Winnie, right? Winnie Stanner.
Well, yeah, Winston.
And she died of stomach cancer, didn't she?
Yes,
Stomach
right,
cancer.
right.
Okay. What was your first job when you left home? What was your first job?
I worked where I first started making money.
Yeah, your first job.
First job was up reverse. We called it a courthouse. It was a hotel.
Here
It's still there.
Spotsylvania?
Yeah, up at right in front of coming from Fredericksburg. That you go straight up Spotsylvania, and this big building stands right in front of there. That's why you make the left turn to come down Courthouse Road. I used to go up there. My mother was cooking there then. I used to go up there and help her wash dishes for $1 a day. Now I was very young.
$1 a day, that was big bucks though.
Yeah, but I guess they later just did it to help, you know, just to encourage. I took that $1, rolled it up in my hand, and walked back down that road. I didn't wait till my mother got off now. My father would go get her in the buggy. I'd walk back down that hot road, that $1 rolled up in my hand. And we couldn't go in, as I said, we didn't have a car, nothing, couldn't go anywhere to spend it.
You just saved it?
I saved it. Saved it for what? We get a catalog through the mail from whatever. I said, look at that catalog. That's where I started ordering. I'm still ordering today. I would see something, I save my money, that costs so and so and so. I can save my and order what I wanted.
On Sundays, was Sunday a special day?
Well, in a way, we go to church, you know, and my father was a sexton of the church. And he'd go to church, and I used to sit there and wonder why they let him put the wood in the stove. Why don't some of the other men get up and help him? I used to think that to myself. All them diggers sitting over there, and then, why don't somebody help him put wood in the stove? Why he got to get up and walk from one side of the church to the other?
Which church did you grow up in with?
Savannah, the same
Savannah.
one. Of course, they've enlarged it now, you know.
What about Christmas? How was Christmas when you were a kid?
It's pitiful. It was good though. It was good for us.
What do you mean?
Santa Claus, you hang your little stocking up, you know, and get your little can and grapes and dried up grapes and you know what is it?
Dried raisins.
Raisins, I meant to say. Yeah.
Dried up grapes.
You know, that little stuff. But we were glad. Well, that's all we knew.
Orange too.
Oranges,
I
yeah.
say you got
Yeah, got an orange and apple, maybe. Yeah.
Okay, in the summertime, how did you, when it was real hot outside, how did you guys keep cool?
Sit out under the tree. We had trees.
And in the wintertime, what'd you do?
Sit by the stove.
By the stove?
Stove in every room.
Do you remember any really bad snowstorms or hurricanes or anything? So one that was really bad?
No, I remember one winter we had snow was real deep. And I hear them complaining, of course we had to stay in the house. But my father and my brothers had to go out, I'd hear them complaining. But I can't remember, like lightning struck something or something like that.
Well, anything weather related that was really
Weather.
bad, like a bad snowstorm or bad.
That's the only thing I can
hurricane or
remember.
Something like that.
That's the only thing I can remember is that snowstorm.
Did you have a favorite toy when you were a little girl?
No,
No toys?
I played with anything I could find.
What was your favorite food?
Sweets.
What kind? Like what, cakes and pies or what?
That's what's wrong with me. That's what's wrong with me now.
Yeah. Well, what did you hate? What didn't you like?
I can't, we didn't have a lot. So, I can't.
You pretty much ate what was there.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
As I said, in the summer we stayed in the garden, in the apple trees and things like that.
Did you ever learn how to swim?
Oh, no.
No swimming?
When I went to school, they made me get in the pool,
But you didn't learn how to
Well, I
swim?
know, I had a face float. That was one of the classes I had to take. But I didn't like it. No.
When you and your friends got together, what did you guys do?
Friends?
Yeah.
Well, I've only had friends just on this side of us and that side of us, and we just visit from house to house. I walk. And when your father got married, built his first house, it's about 3 miles from home. His first
My father
house.
or my grandfather?
Grandfather, I'm
Oh, okay,
sorry.
right.
I'm getting you mixed up.
Now I'm thinking, whoa, what is okay.
That's right. I didn't know nothing about your father. Oh, okay, your grandfather.
Grandfather Harvey.
That's my brother.
Your brother, right.
I used to get on a bicycle and ride down to visit. By myself. I couldn't do it today because of the traffic. But at that time, just saw a car once in a while, So I used to go down and visit your grandmother.
When when you were growing up, where did everybody shop at for clothes and things like that, or did you make your own clothes?
They made clothes.
Just make.
My mother had one of them treadle sewing machines. She was make the sheets to go on the bed.
Make sheets too?
Made sheets out of feed sacks. They buy the sacks of feed, feed it to the animals, and open the sacks up and boil the letters. They have letters on them. They boil the letters out, boil it, and then sew. Before, I remember the ladies would get together and just sit and talk and sew, making sheets out of those feed sacks.
Wow. You ever ride on a train when you were younger?
No, I was grown when I got on a train.
Do you ever drive a car? Who taught you how to drive?
Who did teach me to drive? My mother bought a car in 1928.
What kind? You remember what kind it was?
Model A Ford.
Was it Model A?
Model A Ford Touring.
Okay, Marley Ford.
He said Touring. I forgot what it
That means
was.
one, the side curtains. See, they had no glasses. They had side
No, I'm talking about the one my mother bought now. I'm not talking about the one that Harvey and them had.
I'm just what I'm talking about.
No, she didn't have a car with curtains on it. I can't.
Maybe she didn't get curtains with it.
What did I say, 1928?
Yeah.
I have to go back and do a lot of thinking.
Okay, that's all right. Let me see.
That's the one Joe wrecked, you remember? That didn't have curtains.
Okay, I never see it anyway.
How'd you meet your husband? How'd you meet Uncle Sandy?
Okay, my sister, I told you my sister got married,
Hazel?
Hazel,
Uh-huh.
because when my mother was working up in this area over here as a cook, she was staying here and come home every once in a while. So that's where she met. She was a cook, and Hazel's husband was a butler.
Mm-hmm.
He waited on the table. Well, you know how it happened. He would come down and bring my mother to visit us, and Hazel met him. So they got married. Naturally, she had to come back up here, and his house is right up here, still standing. That's where Hazel moved. So, okay, I'd come up and visit them in the summertime, you know. And they'd go to church on Sunday. He was a deacon of his church down here. And he'd go to different churches on Sunday, so he ended up one Sunday going to Crossroads. It happened to be one weekend that I was there. So I went to church with them. And he saw Sandy. Sandy said he told him, I got somebody I want you to meet. That's what Sandy tells me. So he met, Sandy met me, and then, I don't know, we just, from then on, just.
All right, so you got to tell me the truth now. Were you chasing him, or was he chasing you?
Well, I can't say we were chasing it. Well, we just, every time I'd come up here, I'd see him. You know. And finally, when we decided that we were going to get married, you know what my brother-in-law said?
What's that?
What he said? Two fools well met. Oh, both of us fools. He said, two fools well met. He sure said it. We didn't pay attention to him, though.
You didn't pay no attention to him?
No, we didn't pay attention.
Make sure I don't run out of tape here. Okay. Let me see. What did Uncle Sandy do? What kind of job did he have?
Well, in fact, he was in school when I married him.
What college or trade school? Or
He was in high school.
high school?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Where was your first home? Out when you left your parents? Where did you live at?
We lived in Arlington on First Street.
Arlington,
First Street, Arlington, Virginia. He was working in Arlington at the time, at this job. So when we got married, we left home and went there. That's the first.
Okay.
And we were only renting a bedroom, and they had a kitchen in the back of it.
Okay. Was Uncle Sandy in the military during World War II?
He was called to the military, but he didn't. He didn't stay.
Okay, that's good.
One thing, this was just before Harold was born. The one that was in here just a while ago. So that held him up for a while because it was close to his birth. But when he went we went somewhere. Where did you go? Chicago? Somewhere. But anyway, he didn't stay.
Okay, now something a little different. What's the funniest thing that's ever happened to you that you can?
Funny.
Yeah, something.
Funny.
Yeah, something that just made you laugh.
Oh, Lord.
Anything.
I don't know. It's hard for me to think right now.
Okay, well I go. Well, what about the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened?
Well, embarrassing, not too much.
Okay.
One day I didn't do a lot of getting around, you know, like some people. I just
Okay.
sort of quiet. I don't get around now much anyway.
Let me see. What's this other one? What's the most important lesson you hope your children learn from you?
Always be kind to everybody. And I'm telling you, I think they all are doing very well.
That's good.
All 4 of them,
That's good.
very well.
That's good. I kind of got it. I don't think I have anything else. Anything else you want to add to it?
No, it's not right now.
Oh well.
But I'm sorry I didn't get the record so because I could,
That's,
you know.
well, maybe next time. Oh, I know what I wanted to ask you. When you were coming up, when you were a teenager, what kind of music did you guys?
Oh, I love music, any kind of music.
Well, who were your favorite musicians back then? Artists.
Gosh, I didn't have a favorite artist. I just loved music.
What-
Well, church
You
music.
had a Victrola, didn't you? Didn't you have a Victrola?
Yeah, we had a Victrola. Well, my brothers did. And
So who was it
to
like?
play.
Who was it? Cap Calloway and them, and Duke Ellington, and Billie Holiday, or who did you like?
You know, I just can't think. I know I just love music. I still love music.
Uh-huh.
You know, just can turn the radio on or television, whatever. I just.
Okay. Let me see.
I was always wanted to learn how to play music. I never was able to learn.
You don't play any
I don't
music?
play at all.
You sing?
I try.
Well, when you sing, what do you sing?
Spiritual hymns.
Sing me one here.
No,
Just a little bit.
no, I
About 10
can't.
seconds.
I can't. Look, wait till you get 88 years old. You're not going to be doing it either. Oh, gosh, yeah. When I retired early,
Retired from what?
Treasury Department,
Okay.
I said, I'm going to buy me a piano. That's the first thing I bought was a piano. But I just kept going. I never learned to play. I always said I was going to play the piano. When one of my granddaughters came along, and she was interested in music, I gave it to her.
Mm-hmm.
She came. I said, come down here and pick it up. She did. Her mother came down here and picked it up. And we went to an antique store one day, not too far from here. I saw another piano. I bought it. It's sitting in there now. I still haven't learned to play. Still haven't learned.
Well, that's still not.
But that's one thing I've always wanted to learn to do, play music.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right, that's good. Is there anything else, anything interesting about our family or different or, that you'd like to say something about?
No, I'm telling you, I'm just thankful that to be able to be here to even talk about it because I'm the last one in the family of 10 children.
Mm-hmm.
And I just said, well, maybe the Lord's keeping me for some reason.
Could be.
I don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's best not to know.
Yeah. But I've always done the best I could,
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, that's great. Let me see. I think that's it. I can't think of anything else. Just trying to just talk about things that will make you think about.
Now, who else are you getting all this information from?
Well, I got some I went down to Mississippi and interviewed some people down there.
Mississippi. Who is in Mississippi?
That's on my father's side.
Oh, your father's side, okay.
And here I talked to Grandma, Teeny, and you about the Garnets. And no, I talked to Grandma about the Whites. And
Oh,
the
yeah.
Garnets. So I talked to you
Okay.
about the Garnets.
Okay.
And let me see. I spoke to. It's mostly my father's people. I got a lot of them
Oh, really?
Mhm.
You said they're from Mississippi?
from Mississippi.
Okay.
I got about 6 or 7 of them.
Really?
And on my mother's side, they just got you and.
Okay. Okay.
So I want to try to put it all together and make something out of it. Let's see. a little bit. Good, you can drink. This thing, all right. What's her, who is she now? What's her name?
Her name is Letty Jones.
And how's she related to us?
She is my father's niece. That makes her my first cousin.
She's Archie's
Sister's daughter.
sister's daughter. And Archie's sister, what's her name?
Her name was Letty.
Letty.
No, I'm sorry. I'll take that back. Lizzie.
Lizzie. Okay. Maybe, I don't know if she's in here or not. I got Lewis, William, Archie, Martha, Birdie, Bessie. That's it. I couldn't find any more.
Wait a minute, I'm getting mixed up anyway. And Letty, and Lizzie. She was my father's sister, wasn't she, Sandy? I gotta go look at my papers, I'm telling you. And Lizzie.
Yeah, see,
And Lizzie.
I got almost all of y'all.
I know.
Archie, Winnie.
You don't have Lizzie?
No, but Lizzie would be, she wouldn't be here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
She wouldn't be here. And the only one I got a bad picture of is Emmett. Man, this picture was not too
Okay.
good. But that's the best I could do.
Okay.
And we got them all.
Well, anyway,
All right, so I got enough.
I don't know.
And
I need to refresh my memory.
That's yours.
Oh, okay then. Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
I need to refresh my memory. I'll look that stuff up. I got a lot of stuff in there to look through.
I would like to, if there's any way you can make a copy and send it to me or something.
Okay then, I can do that.
I think did I leave my address on you? My address?
My address?
No, my address.
Oh, yours. Oh yeah, I'll make a copy of it.
I thought at the end of one of these. And here's my address. Right here.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, that's my email address. If
Oh,
You don't
okay.
have to. If you're mailing me a letter, you
Don't have to put that on, right?
But that's my address right there.
And this is your phone number.
And that's my phone number.
Oh, okay then. All right, good. I'll
Yeah, I would love to see that.
okay.
And just make a copy. And if it's something you want sent back, I'll send it right back to you. Because I can take my camera and take a picture of it.
Right.
And then I can put it in my computer and I can make 1 million copies of it.
Okay.
If anybody else would want a copy.
Okay.
Well, that was kind of fun.
And dog had caught you. You're not scared, are you?